What's up? We're back. I don't have my standard intermission. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to unplug the camera and rotate it so that way I can have more control over it. But I got rid of my main intermission screen. So this is kind of like the best intermission screen that I have. Is that light on? That light's on. Okay. Ugh. I always got to see if I am the one that is properly alive. There really shouldn't be any reasons why I'm not live, though, and why I'm not audible. But this gives me a good way to get my link. Anyway. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Some things I found out. My ceiling fan is now doing the thing where it blows the air on me, which is nice. But it is making noise because it's shaking. So always fun there. But welcome to Thursday. We're going to do a roughly 2-hour-ish live stream today. I have a Celsius with me to keep me going because I'm feeling pretty tired today. Got my cup holder, or my coaster for my Celsius. And I need to spam all of my information to everybody yet again. Because I just go live, and then I just leave the room. And then I come back when I'm ready to stream. And so now that I'm here, I need to go through and update everybody on everything. Wait. You know what would be cool? We got this intermission. We go to like some text, right? Text. Watch our goal, right? Okay, so we are doing really well on watch hours. Exceptionally well. Let me go back to the calculative here to see how many more we have remaining. Perfect. Oh. So I'm going to watch hours remaining. Obviously, we need to make that a little bit better. I don't want to reveal it immediately. And let's see. Okay, how do we make this look a little bit prettier? Outline is always nice, and we want the outline to be... well, black won't really show it. So let's try like a red. But that doesn't show anything to me here. But it didn't outline. Yeah. Oh, outline size. Okay, 25. Can't do 25. 10. Oh, that's way too small. I can see it though. So maybe we can go back to... Well, I want to get some depth though to that, you know what I mean? Oh, there's the background. Okay, let's get... Well, no. I don't want it to have any background. Text transform. And that's just the regular opacity of the actual thing itself. Okay, so watch hours remaining equals... I forgot the number already. 318. All right, I need to lock some of these down real quick so I don't accidentally move them. Okay, well, what am I moving? Why is that? Okay, don't touch that. That one right there. I don't get why. Again, it's like showing all the way down here for the chat, but it doesn't want to go anywhere else. Anyway. Got that, and we got to pin that message Boom. So we have 318 watch hours to go, which is absolutely insane. I am blowing past every single metric that I had for the channel, and every single goal is just going right up there. And it's so funny because all I was doing, I was just having a lot of questions about Windows 10, and that completely transformed everything for the channel, was the Windows 10 content. And I think I mentioned it before, one Windows 10 video was worth more than 3 review videos. It's been huge. So Windows 10 has been fantastic, great search stuff for that. So I definitely like it. As always, I'm here to answer any questions about the extended security updates and end of life. It is happening a lot. We're in October now, so we're in the end game. Was it the 14th, I think? So it's like a week from, 2 weeks from last Tuesday, a week from this upcoming Tuesday before the support officially ends. But I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. Let's put it at the top, because then that way if anybody wants to pause anything, they can see it right up there. So perfect. That's fine. All right, so we have Discord to post about. All right, perfect. That's there. And then I gotta do the whole X thing. Let me have the. Well, that was loud. I'm just trying to open the Celsius. I'm not trying to like break into anything. Golly. Everything's louder when you're trying to be more aware of noises. All right, and then I'll just copy the same thing from Twitter to Blue Sky. Boom. I might need to pop in some music because that fan is just driving me nuts. Because it's just like it's a clicking noise every now and again. I'm pretty sure it's not coming off on stream. Also, for anybody out there that's like, oh, didn't you give up soda? I did. I completely gave up soda, but I'm allowing myself 1 to 2 Celsiuses a week until I run out of them. All right, so I also know I'm very far behind on YouTube itself. Let me go to this one. What was this one? Okay, yeah, that was the other one. So I'm really far behind on a lot of stuff on YouTube itself. It's been a crazy week. Things have been taken over. I don't have any content in the pipeline. What my next video that was going to be coming out tomorrow isn't even filmed yet. I may film it today, but I'd have to film it, edit it. I think I have the thumbnail for my guy, but yeah. It would be quite the deal. I don't know if that's going to necessarily happen today. Let me go ahead and see where we're at on that anyway. But I also do have a ton of other content. Let me go back to the You know, I could also create, let me do another, if I create here, duplicate, and I'm just going to modify a couple of things here for myself. Oh, okay, so that's why it doesn't show, it shows the chat on top and not above. Okay, I got it. Because what I wouldn't mind doing is opening up Premiere and doing some video edits today. Also, maybe talk on what, gaming news or anything, not gaming news, like any like tech news or anything like that. That's always a thing too. Let me add that element here. It was an idea I had, and I did do it one time, but it didn't amount to anything. I just like browse like Reddit, like hardware stuff and like PC stuff, and just talk about news. That's kind of fun to do too. Live would be pretty fun. Give those inputs. But I think I wanted to add it's not a window capture. Was it a window capture? Maybe it was. Yep. So Adobe Premiere 2021. Okay, and then we're just gonna, because the idea would be to put like Premiere in here and move me over here. Something like that. And then we have chat that would have to go. I have no idea where chat could go. That's way too small to even see though, I think. So chat then for now would just kind of be like hidden. That's always okay. And then this would go underneath. Also, have I told you how much I hate working with rectangles? So that's kind of cool too, because then I can have Adobe Premiere as I want to work on certain videos. This is a unboxing that I did of the all-in-one cooler that's currently in my system, but I don't know if I would necessarily edit that video or not. So I didn't really do a review of it, but I'm not sure. I've got plenty of options and plenty of things to think of doing. But yeah, we'll just kind of see where the day takes us. You know, I'm given these opportunities to live stream. I won't have them every time, so I definitely want to take advantage when I can. Or, you know, playing games. Y'all want to see me play video games? I got World of Warcraft. I got Hearthstone. That's probably the only two games I'd actually be able to play. Hearthstone would be fun. I rage at that game. It makes me feel things I've never felt before in all of my years of gaming. Hearthstone is the only one that brings out this like depth of rage that I didn't even know I was capable of. Like Aaron from Game Grumps level of just like rage. So if I'm gonna move over here, the camera isn't fully set, but I'll probably be sitting more this way and then looking this way. So maybe no, but this is a better monitor for that. Let's extend it just a little bit. Cool. That looks terrible. Because why is it can't, I understand that it's a rectangle, but it's still trying to go into a rectangle. Yes, it's a little rounded, but Probably because I didn't crop it evenly on all sides. So that's fine. But I got another laptop that I'm working on over here as well. Just kind of some miscellaneous setups. You know, I was talking about last week, I think I was working on the laptop to have delete ready to use and everything like that. So I'm just doing a couple of other things on that one. That's some content that I could find. I would actually love to edit that live stream that I did a couple of weeks ago where I was doing the budget PC build. That was probably the #1 video that would be worth doing at this point with this time. I gotta find out what that was and when that was. All right, well, so then with that, we just go to the handy dandy little channel dashboard. And we go to live. The best budget build gaming PC you can buy was streamed on the 18th. So I go to my videos and I find my 18th live stream. And I have a 2 hour and 40 something odd minute video. Okay, so that actually would be good. It's a 7 gig Premiere file though, golly. I'm sure that one would be fine. So then what I can do is I'll set that as a project over here. Because when I'm, really I minimize the program and it's like, no, we're not gonna look at it anymore. Okay, what's that S behind me? You see that right there? Like right, like, there? That didn't exist before, did it? It does. What? What is that? There's like a 6? Am I just like imagining things all of a sudden? Anyway, when I'm organized, I have great organization. Let's see, so budget, PC build guide, VOD edit. You're not seeing a 6? Are you seeing an S or anything? It's like, it's literally right there. Yeah, it's there. It's like an S or something. But I'm only seeing it on my end. I'm not actually looking at it on. You're a point outside of the view I can see. Yeah, so, I mean, I know I would be. But I think that it's on the actual overlay. Let me. Yeah, no, it's right there. It's on it. So it's in between the point. So, but it's not this way. It's this. Right here. So if my finger keeps going, it's now touching the S. What is that? It's stupid. Where's the overlay? Okay, so let me, okay. This is why things just like take forever. Was that stream elements? Because this is like some sort of a layout that I have. Why is it there? Why does it exist? And then how do I access? Okay, overlays. Or was it an element? Nope. It was an overlay that I was using. But I don't see it on my thing. All right, there was a browser tab for this, I think. It's supposed to also be animated. Is it animated? It's not animated right now. It was animated before I went live when I was testing it, but it's not animated now. But I think the S is supposed to stand for subtle. Was there a refresh browser scene when scene becomes active? Okay. There we go. Now we have movement. And so the S will be only hidden and covered up every now and again. Now I don't know if I like this any more or less, though. Anyway, where was that? Where was that? Trying to create... I have to get rid of this, though. Nope, wrong one. Go. I have to create the... Oh my goodness. Okay. The stuff here. So I've got a little deal to copy all of my videos, wherever those were at. It's like I'm so organized everywhere to the point where I'm not organized anywhere. Then I closed the wrong one. Let's go to videos here. We have that one for the A roll. There's no B roll here. No audio, no images. Cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a new project, which it doesn't show that section. It only shows literally, Interesting. Okay, so anyway, this is, let's see, budget. The budget guide and project files. See, I literally did file new, and it's like still, okay, we'll use the same. I didn't want, no. There's no media in here. And then the clip settings, probably change the sequence settings. Okay, just change it, I guess. Okay, we should be fine. So this is going to create the general audio peaks and all that stuff. It'll take just a moment, but I'll have obviously a lot to just kind of cut through. I don't know if I had any Word document that I made for this one on the 18th, which I didn't make any for this one either. So like I said, I'm extremely organized until I'm not organized in any capacity. So I should be saving all of them actually here, but I'm not saving. I know I've saved more Word documents, but I don't know where they are. Let me open up Word here. Maybe they can show me where some of my recent files were. Okay, so I'm saving some in sync and some locally and some in the guild bank. Way to go, Don. That's what I love to see. You know, why would I want to keep them all in the same area, you know? And that's Z, which is that's the guild bank. Which I think the guild bank, because I was having some issues there, it's not like wanting to... I need to kind of completely reset that up. Let me see if I can do that right now. Map that network drive. And it worked. All right, cool, we're mapped. And again, part of the problem that I have here is I want to work on one monitor. all the way over here. I want to work on this singular display to see everything over here. But then the camera doesn't want to follow me. How's that? I kind of have to move it a little bit more though because the cable is wrapped around it. Not bad. By the way, how's this camera going? Like, that's not a bad camera. It was a Elgato 4K cam or something like that. I've been really pleased with it. Much more pleased than I am with the other one that I've used before in the past. But, okay, so I'll be focusing on working on this screen while doing one other thing on the laptop over here. Oh, I also did a business expense today that maybe by the time it comes out, I'll have more time to play World of Warcraft. But I got the collector's edition today for the new expansion because I'm a sucker. And for the previous expansion, I had to buy all that Mountain Dew. And that was just nonsense and pain. I didn't like doing that at all. So I want to just figure like, okay, I want to have it. But if I'm going to buy the Epic Edition that comes with everything, I want to also have something tangible. I don't want to just buy the $90 version of a game just digitally, you know? So I'd rather spend more money to get something that's physically tangible to have. I also get 3 days early access before the game even goes live. So that's kind of cool. But I just don't want to mix this channel with gaming unnecessarily. I don't mind it, but I don't want to subjugate, if that's even the word, too much of my audience that's coming here for tech stuff to be seeing like, oh, here's this guy gaming again for his like 19th time in a row for World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna do some file organization here, and I've got chat pulled up over there so I can see y'all if you do say anything. Easy enough, but I need to find all of my raw footage for the live streams so I know exactly where they all are at. And I can put them all in the network for now. That way they're all in one solid place and I can choose to work on them on this PC or another PC, or Delete can always pull them off and work on them on her PC. Just gonna do, wait, I already have a live streams folder. Okay, all right, so I've already gotten that far. Live streams, live stream 1, which was already done. That was a different video. Those two are kind of already done. So I can move those off. Also, what a great naming convention that is. Live stream 1, live stream 2. That was from a long time ago. Oh, that fan is absolutely driving me nuts. So I'm gonna just drown it out with a little bit of music. You remember that, Alt, from years ago? There was I'm pretty sure you were there. There was this guy at a hotel. I was like, oh, what's playing? And he was like, it's music. We're like, you mean music? But it was like a service, like M-U-Z-A-K. Yeah, the music. It just always sits with me now. That one random thing that guy said, like, obviously sits with you too. It's so stupid. But that was good. I don't remember what it was, but it was good music, I think. You do think of that from time to time. Isn't it amazing? The things that stick with us. How old was my daughter when she was born? How much did she weigh when she was born? I don't know, but music. That part I know. Also, thank you guys. Channel update too as well. We're at 2,370 subscribers, which is just awesome to see that. I mean, the channel's got such healthy growth right now. And if everything goes well, projected monetization date where I finally start making some dinero from what I'm doing, just a little bit of cash, is October the 9th, which is 1 week away. Now, I did have some big surges in my analytics where I was surging up to like 70, 80 hours on some days. And now we're starting to kind of climb back down to the 40, 50 hour range, which is still perfectly fine. When I started tracking, I was about 20 hours a day. So I cannot complain with that. But I'm looking forward to it. And since the channel is so healthy right now, I mean, we might be starting about, hopefully $5 a day. That's what my hope is. You just don't know what your amount of money that you make per 1,000 views is until you're actually monetized. Now, tech niche, though, is a lot higher than some of the other stuff. So that's nice that I'm going to be getting more money that way versus gaming. And I probably need to look at the TheDonTech emails, which I'll go to right now. And I've not really done any single thing with any of the guys that want to work with me. But a lot of it's just been random products that I don't know if really fit. Like I got this one about testing speakers and headsets. And they would send them in exchange for a video, and like kind of look like it's literally a little speaker thing that just connects via USB, which isn't going to give you any power for anything whatsoever. And the headset looks janky, so I don't have any interest in that stuff. Now, if like Razer wants to hit me up or Corsair or something like that, then absolutely. Then we'll be talking. But also Sennheiser, right? Like if you can't really maybe see it, but on the inside here, this is starting to happen to my headphones on both sides, the left and the right ear cup at the same time. You can see that like brown inside. That's from just the pleather, I guess, tearing away from the inside. And it's unfortunate because I've had these since I started the YouTube channel back in like 2016. They sound amazing and phenomenal. I love this Sennheiser. They're open cup or open ear, so they don't, trap in heat or anything like that. And they sound so good. So I hate seeing them physically deteriorating a little bit like that, but I will get to doing some video edits here in a momento once I get everything else kind of all set here, because we have all the live streams that I need to move, which is about, was that a live stream? Was that a live stream? That was from 20. Okay, I gotta watch these and kind of see. This is just replying to comments, so it's kind of stupid. And then, okay, that one's lame. Oh, and that one is just a test video with my kid just being a goober. And then, let's see, was this one a test one? This is 18 minutes. I can't imagine what this one is. Oh, yeah, no, that one was the disappointment one for various reasons. So that's a nothing. I can get rid of that one. That doesn't matter. Okay, and then we have, so these 4 that we can move over to the live stream area. Perfect. It is 23 gigs worth. And I'm also stupidly moving, no, I'm not. I'm not stupidly moving that one. Okay. So that's going to take about 4 minutes to move through the network. So no big deal. And so while we're doing that, we'll just make some cuts over here, because I know that obviously we got, whenever I do the video edits, I always try to find the beginning part of it when we go live, and things that wouldn't matter, you know, all the intro, all the chatting, all the talking, most of the stuff that I talk about and do doesn't fully matter. So I'm not going to listen to myself just yet. I'm just going to get rid of stuff that I know we don't even remotely need to make this not as much of a, you know, process. You know, if we're already looking at 2 hours and everything to kind of have to go through. And I'll spare you guys the nonsense of having to hear me overhearing me, so you just kind of deal with me itself. I'm just kind of here to relax and chat if anybody wants to chat more so. Boy, my fans want to kick on really high right now. And I know that I at least don't need anything right here. So well, we get it down to a 2 hour, 22-minute project. So it's still quite a endeavor, but I know I talked a lot during this one. We had this nice big pause break here, but I don't think I need to make any changes to the actual video. Like any changes to the way it looks or anything like that, where I would need to make one long thing. Is that really, that looks pretty blurry though, is that? I don't know why that looks so blurry. I get that it's only at half resolution. Maybe if I change it to full, it'll... No, that's only when it plays. When it's paused, it's still pretty blurry there. Huh. Wait. All right, I think I know what the problem is. I need to redo that. Because Adobe in its infinite wisdom is stupid. I'm going to do a new project. So I think when it was saying something about that sequence, it actually meant it. So because it actually meant it, that means that it might not be what I'm going for on the quality side of things. So I'm going to re-import Did it just show my desktop? I saw it show on my desktop. It doesn't matter if it shows my desktop, but I'm just curious if it showed my desktop. Just can't tell if things are acting up because they're acting up or just because it's, you know, graphically glitching. Okay, so we'll let it build those. It already built them? Okay, nice. Let me just go through here. No, it's still a little, that's blurry to me. But I don't remember it being that blurry on stream. Even me. Huh. Curious. Oh well, we can't do much about it after the fact. I love saying that line that I can't fix it in post, so we got to deal with what we're dealing with. I had a video, I did my Asus unboxing video, and it worked pretty well. And even though it was a terrible, you know, I didn't even have the whole product in frame, I didn't have to, I didn't have to worry about it. It performed pretty well. So let's see, we weren't going to do PC part picker, I don't think. We're kind of still modifying, going through things. Wait, this was the 18th. Let me just triple check here real quick to see if I had any Word documents from that day. So 9/18, that's what this one was, right? Okay, so the third, so this is where I have to go backwards in time. Because if I cut it forward, then all my timestamps don't mean anything. So let's see. The 2 hour mark was the GPU, which is right around here. I came back and I guess I did the GPU. So 2 hours 16 ending chat. We'll make any notes if anything significant happens. I guess nothing happened there. So with the ending chat about 2:16. Okay, so that was the outro. That would have been a nice thing to say. Why is NVIDIA Broadcast eating up so much of my resources? That's not even running right now. I check my task manager and like my fans are going like crazy because NVIDIA Broadcast is like sucking up as much memory as it possibly can. Thank you for that. But we just close it and get it out of here. And the stream didn't break, so I guess it's okay. By the way, this the music it's going on and everything isn't doing anything for the fan. I can still hear the click every single time the fan is rotating, but it does not feel sweltering in here, so. All right. All right, get rid of that window. Just going to get rid of every window that I don't need right now as well to help consolidate some things here. Perfect. All right, so that looks like that was the outro there, which is good. At that point, about 2:16-ish. Was that about where it was? Perfect. All right, so that's the out portion that we don't need that anymore. That's about the perfect, nice little outro. Oh. Cool. Nice little outro, so that is all set. All right, and then the next part from that video goes from the 2:16 to the 2 hour mark. So we're talking about 16 minutes to talk about the GPU. I think there's some things here that I can obviously cut through. Actually, you know what I can do? I got it. So about the, I can clear from the front to cut this down a little bit. I don't have to ripple delete. I can just clear from it. And I say here about the 30-minute mark is when the budget build guide starts. this is the 20-something minute mark, and I'm already kind of like talking about something else. Maybe I mean like an intro. I talk a lot, don't I? But I'm live streaming, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I said 30-minute mark, PC budget starts, you know. That's my face. Enjoy my face. Enjoy your brunch, bro. I need to be a little bit more clear with my timestamps here. Maybe here? I'm just trying to find my intro. All right, I think we're getting close to where the actual intro would be. Probably right around here. Two minutes past. Okay. All right, so we got that part. So we're at the 30. I'm just going to modify that here because it doesn't really matter. 33-minute mark is when the actual budget build starts. So then we have from the 33-minute mark all the way up to the 2-hour and 15-minute mark. So I have to go through all of this and trim it down. So I have to, I don't know if I'm gonna do each part. I think it's just gonna be one long budget build video. It just is what it is for the time length. I'm not really too worried about that. But I know I have a lot of the different things that we talked about in here. And let's see. So we pretty much did 37 was the motherboard, 41. 41 minutes. I said Alt's name correctly. That's funny. Oh, and then 51 was the motherboard reel. So it looks like from 33 to 51, I didn't talk about anything. I can get rid of all of that. CPU mixed in. That doesn't make any sense. That's thank you, Don. Every time I watch a lot of these things, it's like, thank you, past Don, for this stuff. We got PC case, RAM, SSD, CPU cooler, PSU, and GPU. 2 hours 16, ended a few minutes before then. Okay. So I guess I start at actually 51. So we can go from, I don't know where to cut that out though. We just go to the 51 mark. See about where that is. This is a lot of talking here. So I think we are at like 51 itself. All right, so we got that then. So I can probably, because that's when I start the board, so I can probably just find after that outro and probably clear almost every single other thing out of it. Because we had that intro here. I said outro, but I meant intro. I think that's satisfactory, I say, of course. Okay. Now I'm talking. So it could be that that is the intro, which is however long that is, 2 minutes-ish, give or take. Cut some of the dead air and stuff within that. And then we would have this entire segment here that we can get rid of. But at the I do want to hear how I said Protean Reverie's name. Yo, Reaper! "20 vids in the watch later playlist for you. I appreciate it." So where were we at? We were at the 41-minute mark. I said Alt's name correctly. So let me get that. Obviously, I'm at the... I just put the 41 minutes, and the minute, it's a whole 60 seconds. I need to be more granular with this time period. So I'll start at the 41-minute mark. Yes, Reaper. A nice big pause between saying Alt's name there. I was so happy and proud of myself. Okay, all right, got it. I got the section for the name, so I can clear. I'm just going to clear those things out, and that I can move somewhere else. And then I'm pretty sure that everything from here to here is completely not necessary, according to my notes. So I don't want to waste time going through another 10 minutes of footage. So we'll just say that it's okay. We'll kind of just like clear that out. And then we go from apparently the 51 minute mark, and I have the CPU mixed in. But that's kind of okay, because this isn't going to be an independent series. So what I know I can also do, just kind of, now I'll keep working on the route that I'm going on here. And then I can eventually get rid of all of it to make the timeline not be so, like, you know, muddied. So CPU mixed in. Hour 10 was this PC case. And then 2 hour mark was that. So this is the 2 hour 5 minute mark, which is right around that GPU talk, so not too bad. And then I guess we had the outro kind of here too. Okay, all right, so we're at this, there was nothing else here. I went from the pause to the GPU. Two hour mark, talk about GPU. Okay. Good. So let's see, so that was the GPU at the 2 hour mark, and then 2 hour 16 I ended a little bit, so I can probably, yeah, so when I watch this in more detail after I kind of get it all said and done, I'll know that I can trim some more things out of this section here. So before then, we have the 1 hour 40 mark as being the PSU, which is probably around here that I'm talking about the power supply. Whether or not this stuff is relevant, that's the question. I think right about there. All right, there we go. We can clear that out, so that makes that a lot nicer. And then once I get everything kind of all more straightened away and this bulk of it, everything just kind of removed, then I know that I can ripple delete to get rid of the time frame so it's not, you know, this long. So that's really not all that bad at all. It's just a matter of now this big chunk here, which is, gosh, anywhere from 51 to, it's about an hour's worth of talking. And you can just see those constant talks. But going backwards again, though, an hour 29 was the CPU cooler. Wait, to an hour. Okay, so an hour 40 to an hour 47. About when I say the CPU was. Let me get some of the cuts in here then, so I'll know my minimums and maximums. That's cooler. All right, so that is the actual power supply itself, which is at the hour 39 mark, which is exactly as I was saying in that. So And about the hour 29 CPU cooler. It would be nice if I could have you guys see everything that I'm seeing at once. I feel like that'd be kind of a great, you know, deal. But there's not enough room dealing with rectangles for all this sort of stuff to show that. So you just kind of have to deal with a smaller version of me with the channel of me, and then just this nice little whatever. I wouldn't mind though if I'm just sitting here doing something else on the channel and giving you something more entertaining to watch in the screen to the left. Which, let me try transform me. Let me flip horizontal. Yeah. Is that okay? I remember one time in Uptown Gaming, you know, we did that. I think it was an April Fool's joke. We like flipped the camera, rotated everything, and people were like, change it back. It's terrible. We hate it. Change it. It was a fun time. All right. But it's kind of fun. I like doing this sort of fun stuff, you know, to double dip, essentially, to be able to get watch hours while working on content for the channel to get watch hours. It's great. I mean, as you can see, 318 hours, it's working really, really well for us. So again, appreciate every single person that's been watching this. We're live for about another hour. I'm just going to get as much done with this editing as I can, and I'll continue to work on it. I don't know what content's going to be released this week, honestly, because I don't have any scheduled videos planned for tomorrow. Like I said, I might film later today if I have the opportunity to talk about my next video, which, what was even the next video? I think it was about, is it going to be worth it to pay for the Windows 10 extended security updates? I mean, I may be able to, so let me just tell my guy. Okay. It's like I said, I farm out my thumbnails. Bro, that is the single best thing that has ever happened to my channel, is farming out thumbnails, to not have to think about it. I still make some thumbnails. Maybe I'm still making like 50% of my thumbnails, just kind of depends on what's being released. But yeah, that's something that, not having to worry about it, knowing that I can just edit the videos. But I can see why some bigger channels need editors and thumbnail people, and just why they kind of thrive more, because then as the guy, all you have to do is make the content, make the videos, and then everybody else takes care of everything for you. That's pretty simple. It's really not all that bad, because going through and doing this, it's a lot of time to have to edit all these videos down, especially when there's a lot of fluff from a live stream. While the live stream does flow a little bit easier because it's a point A to point B and it's not rehearsed, and it's not like messing up, you have to kind of watch it all to know what you have to clean out of the system. So if I had somebody else to do it for me, it wouldn't be bad. But small steps, small steps. First step, monetization. Then just everything else happens from there. All right, so this was hour 40. Now we're at hour 29 is when I talk about the CPU cooler, give or take, which is probably right around here, because that's the SSD, which was about 3 minutes, I guess. We probably have cooler here. All right, I think that's a good point there. And then there were some other sections here that I was talking about. Like I was like, oh, that was quick. So it was about here. Like that was quick is what I said. Oh, here? Oh no, that was closer. That was probably like around here. Must have been here. Okay. I can get rid of that. So then I know I can clear out this section here because that's nothing. So as much as we can get rid of is nice. And then eventually we just watch it all and condense it all. And then, yeah, hour 26 was the SSD. So I guess that was about this part here when I was talking, because that's RAM, obviously. And then we go to the SSD right after. That's that. And I think there's some stuff here that we don't necessarily need. The RAM started at 117. I think we ended around here. Wait, that was a good part. All right, so I know that I don't need any of that. Any little bit you can get rid of definitely does help, though, in the process later on. So that would have been up to the RAM. The RAM started at an hour 17, give or take. So it's probably right around here that the RAM started. I guess I don't need a lot of the intro stuff too, where I'm talking about, you know, oh, the next is RAM, because it's kind of going to be flowing. It'll be in the timestamps. It'll be everywhere. You know, cut out some of the fluff when you need to keep it pretty cohesive. It is much different doing this, though, on the live stream than it was when I did my first build guide, because that was over, I filmed the whole thing in one sitting, but when I was done with it, I knew that I was done with it, and I had to, you know, I had that intro and outro in between each and every shot. All right, so I guess all of this I can also get rid of. Talking about Windows 10 stuff. Okay, yep, definitely don't need any of that. Easy enough. See, it still looks like it's a lot, right? But I mean, we've cleared out a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to take a quick little restroom break here and go delete some huggies. Let me just pause that and find my BRB screen. I will be back in a momento. Yo. Does that really have to go like black like that afterwards? That's fine, I guess, but it's weird. All right, so where was we? We were at hour 17, which was the RAM, which goes back to about an hour 10, which was the case. So that means this is the RAM right here that we're talking about. Got that all done. Easy enough. Is this the end RAM? That's fine. I don't need to worry about getting too fancy with that. I just need to clear the in and the out for some of these settings. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like, what is next Monday will be the 6th, and then by next Thursday, we might actually have monetization a week from today when we live stream. That's pretty killer. That's pretty killer right there. So give or take, though, it might deviate a day or so because, you know, the watch hours are always, they're kind of always ebbing and flowing. And we're at, YouTube takes 5 whole days to verify that every single minute of content that is watched and consumed by you guys on the TheDonTech is valid. So if anybody dares, like if you're watching my stuff, but you're not paying full attention to it, or your eyes wander for a second, oh, that's seconds that YouTube will take off the watch hours. It's weird, but it's a 5-day delay right now. So according to the 5 days that I have, I'm gonna be hitting about 40-ish hours per day, which should get me to where I need to be. But obviously I don't have 7 days worth of watch hours yet, only 5. So I do notice a nice little bump when we live stream, because right now we have 8 concurrent viewers. 8 people watch for an hour, 8 hours, 2 hours, 16 hours, more, so on and so forth. So that's why I'd love to actually do a live stream for a lot longer, but it's only if I actually have something to do. But that'll be cool if next Thursday I'm live streaming and it's like, y'all, check out the ads, I'm a partner. That'd be kind of cool. Go back here. So RAM, so 110 was the PC case. I guess that's going to be right around here was when I talk about the PC case. All right, then I don't know if anything here was necessary. Okay. Interesting things that I'm talking about here. Okay, cool. That's not too bad. Nice little clear there. Yeah, I love when we can clear out a lot of things. The more that we can clear out, the better it feels. It's kind of like when you check something off your to-do list. It's just so nice. And also, there's going to be a lot of stuff I can get rid of, I guess, otherwise. Where are we at? Where are we almost already? Well, we're almost actually already done with the big bulk edits there. Sweet. That's nice. That's going to make this a lot easier for me. So we're just at the minute 10 mark, which was the case. CPU mixed in. 51 minutes was the motherboard itself. So I guess a lot of the stuff here is going to be able to be trimmed out. This was the CPU talk. Because 51 is when I say the board actually starts, which is right where we're cut at. Oh, and then I think I had some technical difficulties here, which is why we were doing some of that. So let me just kind of see. I think this was my no, this wasn't my intro. About 52 minutes. That was a nice little section there. This little part here was where I disband the truths about what a budget build actually means and how you can't have a budget build, and budget builds don't exist. They just don't exist. Because if you're building your PC for the first time and you've never built a PC before, you still have all these different accessories you have to go for. The keyboard, mouse, monitor, headset, speakers, microphone, camera, desk, if I didn't mention the desk already, gaming chair or just a chair. Like, you got to still get all of those additional components. So saving as much money as possible on a build doesn't make any sense because you still have to buy all those other things. So why make a really, really cheap computer? If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. That's just kind of how it is, right? But you'd rather want to spend, instead of spending like $300 on a nice monitor, you'd want to put that money towards the actual PC build itself. So that's what this whole section is right here, is kind of talking about the, I don't want to move it yet, but that section right there is talking about how PC building on a budget doesn't really make any sense because of the other things you need. And then the CPU's mixed in, then we go to about an hour 10. So there's just a lot of stuff here that I think I need to listen to kind of get rid of. So that's just kind of this will be the longest part of this editing process, I guess, is going for this next like 10-ish minutes. I think I was having some technical difficulties. Double thumbs up, Reaper. don't know why stuff broke, but it is. I would do 3 thumbs. So obviously something broke. So about here or so is... Of course, I say it right when it messes up there. And then I can get rid of... I can get rid of a lot of stuff here. I guess about right there. So I know that this stuff is all something I don't need. I don't know if I necessarily need the timestamps anymore because I know that it's going to be like what the parts are going to be. So I'm almost at the point where I can do the ripple delete and bring this down to however long this entire video process will be right here. And then it just gets smaller from there. It's not going to be too uncommon for a build guide to be pretty long. I mean, it depends on how much information you're trying to get and trying to give, you know? All right. Oh. Cool. So we have, what, about another 30 minutes-ish of stream? And then I have other adult responsibilities to take care of. Yay. It's so much fun. When they tell you to grow up, don't grow up. Don't do it. It's a trap. It's not fun. And then next week, oh, you know, I'm going to hope that I can stream next week. I should be able to kind of finagle it in a little bit. It just might not be as organized of a stream because I got some stuff happening next week. So it'll just depend on how that stuff goes in relation to how my stream schedule will look. And then maybe the week after that, or maybe I'll just plan it for some time in November. Eventually we'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube and possibly Kick. And then maybe also doing YouTube live streams, like not the live streams, what's the other thing? The shorts. And then we'll just kind of see where everything goes from there. I mean, if you're live streaming, you got to put it out as many places as you possibly can. The more exposure you have, the better all that stuff is. I say as a pro after I'm about to be monetized for my 3rd time. But this time it's for real and it's not going nowhere. So maybe it'll be a fun little celebration party stream on that day if we actually get it a week from now. I get some good insight here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I don't. Or maybe this is just a big clump of everything I talk about. So I guess some of the things here I can get rid of. I don't think I need any of this stuff, which is good to know that I can just kind of get rid of it. Because there's a lot of thought process you don't need in all these, you know? All right, cool. We can clear that. Nice, nice, nice. You know what I need to do? I need to go to Amazon, my storefront, to see what I ended up picking. So I know that I picked that tough B860 one. So I picked that. Oh man, the RAM is out. Man, that's stupid. How many times do I have to modify this stuff if these parts keep on going out of stock? So I picked the, so I did not pick one of the, I picked the B860 plus Wi-Fi board, which I think was that. So that is not the one that I even picked. Wait, yeah, wait. B860 plus Wi-Fi? 1851. It looks completely different. Wait, that's the prime. This is the tough. Okay, so the prime. I did not pick the prime. Or did I? I don't know, because in the actual thing it shows the tough, maybe not the prime, so interesting, interesting. What was the price of it when I was shopping? Okay, so the price when I was shopping was $189 in comparison to $180. So $5 more for the tough board would be a much better board because of what it did offer. So I think that's probably why I stuck with that. And let me see if I get to a point where I remove it from the cart or something. Okay, so I know I don't need these sections. Okay, I already heard that, and then we go straight to the... Okay, the case. Sorry, that's not too bad. So this entire segment right here is just kind of looking for the boards, and I can definitely clean a lot of that up to get rid of a lot of the nonsense that I'm talking about there. And then this one here was going to be, if we're at the hour 2 mark, we're about the, what was here then? Maybe this is still the board? Yeah, okay, so it's still the board and some of those things and getting rid of that. So all of that is, this is all the board and the CPU. Is this little section right there. That's not too bad. That's not too much to modify. And then before it here we had, this was the intro of things. And then there was nothing else. Well, there was something before that. Wait, no, this is the intro. So what is this then? What is 51? 51 is the board. Well, this is also the board. And then this is the board. Golly. This is still kind of like intro stuff though. Maybe I can get rid of some of these things because I think it messed up with, because it wouldn't add to cart. But I can find that out later. That's not a big deal. And then this is where we figure out how to say alt's name correctly. That little sliver. Which actually what we're going to do, this will be fun. We're just going to get rid of that and clear it, bring it in, and I say the name correctly, and we're just going to do a fun little clear those, and we're just going to do an in and an out. And then what we'll do is if it'll even show. We're just going to do a quick little file, export, media. I love how you don't see the dialog prompts that are popping up. It's so specific on, not the window, but it's so specific on the actual program itself. And we're just going to do a little 1080. We're just going to do the sequence in and out. And let's see, DonTech projects, letter build, and we're going to do protein reverie. Cool. Export that for just a second. And then boom. Video was successfully exported. So we just clear in and out. And then we can also just get rid of that from the timeline because I now have the video rendered with that. And then what I'm going to do is go back to that footage and I guess it doesn't need to be a video. It can be like an MP3, but I don't know. I'll do that later. All right. So I think we're ready then to condense all of this down because we know where we're at. So let me just do one final little take through here to see where we're at because we're at the 2:16 ending chat. This was like the outro piece, I think. All right, cool. Now let me just see what this little low end section was here because I can probably get rid of it. Probably, so when's my actual, like, I'm done talking about what we added here? Probably around here. So I think we just have like right around here where I talk about it's not that bad of a price, and that's pretty much it right there. All right, so it's right here where I say that. And then this is where I talk about an AMD budget build, which we're not necessarily going to be doing. I have a way with words sometimes. It's nice. All right, cool. So we can clear that out. We just start doing the ripple delete now, actually, because I got rid of everything in this I don't need anymore. So we just ripple delete that sucker out of there. We can start bringing the timetables down a lot more. So probably the plan will be, I'm just going to go through this another pass, get rid of some of the stuff I know I don't need, condense it all down, see where we're at, and then we'll eventually make this a video that will be coming out, which will be pretty cool for the budget build needs and everything. Now, obviously, some of the parts price has changed because it's very difficult to have a, you know, what was a certain price at a certain point probably won't stay that way forever. It just kind of is the way that it is. But it's definitely not all that bad. I like that. I'm also lazy when it comes to these things. I don't want to watch anything until I have to watch it all, and I know I already have to watch it. Like when I did my PC build guide itself, not the build guide, but the actual PC build, that was a 4.5 hour long video. That was a lot to go through. And not only was it a 4.5 hour video, I also had 2 cameras. So I had both of those things on top of each other, layered. I had to figure out when to show like the close-ups, when to show up camera 1, camera 2. And it was a fun project. It was a passion project. But it also taught me that you don't have to spend as much time and energy and effort to put into those sort of videos, because while it did perform well, it's over like 1,000 views, it's not something that is going to be channel changing, whereas some other stuff could just be channel changing. So you got to think of something, make the idea when you have it, edit it, and just get it out, you know? That's some of the best things you can do for YouTube. Don't delay when you want to upload or create content. You're thinking about it, you just got to do it. So, moments, let's see. All right, so then here we should just be able to ripple delete that. Let me just verify where we're at, what this part was. It was fun shopping for the GPU for that one, trying to find something a little bit cheaper. It's sad, though, that the graphics cards are still as expensive as they are. All right, and then we ripple delete that. Boom. All right, cool. Just little bits, if you can find little things now and then to get rid of, it's always nice. Like this little section here, obviously I can get rid of that big like one down there. And then, I mean, I can just kind of ripple delete everything right now. Bring it all together. There's probably an easier way to do this. Honestly, when I do like these edits and stuff, I always ripple delete first usually. This is the only time I've actually just cleared. But I wanted to keep the timetables intact with this one. And, ooh, okay. Well, we still have a hour-long video. So well, we took it from like 2 hours and 15 minutes down to an hour. So when you look at it that way, we got rid of a lot of stuff that we didn't need to do to it. But it's still definitely a lot of footage that we have to go through. But that's kind of the next step there. I'm probably going to obviously do a lot of the stuff off stream where I have to kind of watch it all, go through it all, and then get rid of a lot of the things that we don't need. Definitely condense a lot of it, get rid of a lot of things that could be said just for stream, a lot of things that are repeats, because when you're live streaming, a lot of the stuff does become a repeat because you've already, you know, you have new people that are coming in, you have new people that you're talking to, and you want to catch them up, you want to let them know where you're at, so you can easily probably find a lot of this stuff. I'm going to hope that we can get this entire video done and set for 30 minutes. I know that sounds really, really difficult to cut this entire video length in half, but I think it can happen. I think there's enough stuff that we can cut out to achieve that goal, especially since this is not my first time that I've done this. There's a lot of talking points that I can probably get rid of, and there's a lot of stuff of me like searching for components that I don't need to necessarily describe. It's more so, if you want a budget build, this is what you need to buy, and then people can maybe get a little bit of an explanation, but I would venture to guess that if people are trying to budget shop, they're not trying to be convinced why they need to buy something. They're just trying to be told the cheapest thing to buy. And my market will never hit with those sort of shoppers because they're just trying to go for they sort by low and they don't care about quality. So this video guide is for those that care about quality and care about actually having a system that will give them everything that they need within budgetary restrictions. And I think I also might have said somewhere in the video, and I would say this too, like I would challenge anybody out there to build a better budget build system that is equal or better quality for the same or lesser value, which I'd say that most people are not able to do that just in general because they don't have that robust knowledge of what will last and what won't last. They just look at it and say, okay, well, hey, this is really cheap, let's get this. Whereas the hour of this is all exposition of me telling you from my 20 years of experience why components are good and why they're not good. But if you want to just burn, you know, $500 on a budget build that will last you 2 years, go ahead. But that's not what the TheDonTech focuses on. But cool deal. So that pretty much ends all of that then. It's just chilling out for a couple more minutes, winding down, and then going from there. You know, maybe this part, delete, could actually work on. I think it got sunnier out. It's a lot, the glare's on me a little bit more now. But I think I could have delete maybe work on that though. All right, so let's save that. That's pretty nice. Ah, okay, I forgot. I can't minimize it. My bad. And, oh, let me save that 918, but I don't even know where that actually was. So you go to quick access. We find out, open the file location. It's in a random folder I don't even use. So we'll move that over to the actual project file itself. And not the project file, but the destination folder where all the other files are at. So I have each individual Word document. So I haven't really done anything on this video. I don't think this one will actually be anything more than the VOD that releases after the fact, because there wasn't anything crucial or important really going on here. So not like there ever is in any of my other videos anyway, but I also need to do a lot of channel updates and channel management, because each live stream, it has its own description, it needs its own title, it needs its own tags, it needs its own links, it needs everything. So that's a lot to do on each video, especially when you're releasing them 2 times a week. But all right, get rid of that page. And that is all sweet there. All right, but yeah, I'm excited. 318 watch hours remaining. You guys are absolutely awesome for all of that. I can't wait to see what Monday is going to be. Can't wait to see what Thursday is going to be. Hopefully next week we're fully monetized. That would be awesome. But let's say that's about 2 hours, 10 minutes. That's fine for the stream. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopping on in, anybody that comes into the past, present, or the future. I need to fix my hair. I'm going to go get a workout in. It's leg day, always fun. And what else? That's really it. Just other adult responsibilities afterwards, but that's where we are. So look forward to the build guide coming, not the build guide, but the budget PC shopping guide coming soon. I need to get a thumbnail for that, or make one. I might use that other thumbnail template. Not sure. Anyway, a lot of options, but thank you guys again so much for watching. And this has been The Don with TheDonTech. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, the Don's got your back. Peace.